This week we've got a find that's unlike anything you've ever seen before. A guy found a 1954 Rolls-Royce inside a derelict barn. A sticker on the window revealed the last time this car was on the road was 1969, meaning it's been sitting abandoned for an incredible 56 years. Opening the door revealed an interior that was in surprisingly good shape, holding up well against the test of time. And what's more, the original key was still in the ignition. After a quick look inside, it was time to check under the hood. Popping the hood revealed a rusty engine packed into the tight engine bay. With the engine confirmed to be there, the next challenge was getting the car out of the barn. But when he tried to push it, he found the brakes were completely seized. The car wouldn't budge an inch. So he had to use a jack to lift the car and check each wheel to see which ones were stuck. While he was at it, he aired up the tires. And incredibly, after decades of sitting, they still held air, a minor miracle. He quickly determined that the front brakes were the ones that were locked up. With limited space inside the barn, he couldn't easily remove the wheels. So he resorted to the persuader, a sledgehammer, to strike the brake drums. This can help break a seized drum loose. And believe it or not, the trick worked. The wheels started to turn freely. All that was left was to top off the air pressure. With the prep work done, he hooked a tow strap to the car. He positioned his own truck at the barn entrance, attached the other end of the strap, and began the extraction. You can see just how long it's been sitting by the thick blanket of dust covering every inch of the car. As the car slowly moved, the old wooden floorboards groaned under the weight. Finally, after about half an hour of careful work, the Rolls-Royce was successfully pulled from the barn. This icon of luxury was finally free from the prison that had held it for over half a century. He immediately got it back to his workshop. The first order of business was to check the electrical system. He hooked up a new battery, which on these cars goes under the rear seat, and connected the terminals. Just like that, the dashboard lights came on and the wipers started working. But the biggest surprise was that after all these decades, both headlights still worked perfectly. Next, he checked if the engine was seized. Luckily, apart from a cracked and aging belt, the engine turned over by hand. He moved on to the distributor. After opening the cap, he saw the inside looked surprisingly clean. But to ensure a good spark, he still used sandpaper to clean the points and remove any oxidation on the contacts. However, upon inspecting the spark plug wires, he found they were brittle and falling apart, completely unusable. So he removed the old distributor cap and wires and replaced them with a new set. Fortunately, having a good network in the car community makes finding rare parts like these a whole lot easier. With that sorted, it was time for a test crank. The engine turned and you could see a faint spark at the plugs. Now confident the engine was okay, it was time to drain the decades-old oil. As expected, it came out pitch black. Once the old oil was drained, he filled it up with fresh oil and a new filter, along with a fuel additive to prime the system. He tried the ignition again, and this time the engine was happy to cooperate. It fired right up and settled into a steady idle with no signs of stalling. Next up was the fuel system. He decided to bypass the old tank and lines for now, setting up a temporary fuel supply with an electric pump running out of a gas can. The radiator was also bone dry, so he filled it with fresh coolant.
At this point, the engine was sorted enough for a temporary test drive. For the first time in decades, the Rolls-Royce moved under its own power. It was about to return to the road after a long absence, ready to turn heads once again. But first, it needed a serious bath to wash off 56 years of dirt. He started with an alkaline degreaser to soften the caked-on grime, which helps prevent scratching the fragile original paint during the wash. After letting it dwell for about 15 minutes, he began to rinse it all off with a pressure washer. As the water blasted away the grime, the car's original paint was revealed. But the true aged condition of the paint was also exposed. Large patches on the hood and trunk lid had peeled away, victims of the long passage of time. While the surface was still wet, he sprayed on an iron remover to dissolve any embedded metallic particles. As the chemical reacts with the contaminants, you can see it turning purple. He then agitated the surface with a soft brush, making sure to get into every nook and cranny for the best results. Finally, he rinsed all the dissolved iron particles away. With the car clean, it was finally time to hit the road and see what a 1950s Rolls-Royce really feels like to drive. You can see that the engine is still incredibly strong. Whether on pavement or country lanes, it delivers plenty of power to the driver. If you're willing to step on it, this thing can still get up and go. It's a testament to why the internal combustion engine, even after being refined for over a century, remains an irreplaceable piece of modern engineering.